you could build a real estate team without hiring a single buyer specialist, a single commission split, a director of operations, and an EA, anybody, right? A real estate team without making a single hire of an agent or anybody else. And here's the good news. If you're selling real estate actively, and if you want to sell a lot more, I'm glad you're here. If you're selling some real estate, good. Chances are you're already doing what I'm about to talk about doing at a higher level on today's video. We understand in our businesses and really in life, right? And you've heard it, no one succeeds alone, right? At real estate, we get to a certain point where we just kind of feel the need to build a team. We've got a list of clients who need and want our attention, which is great. We've got feedback from online conversations we're having from Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, and you're doing all this stuff to get stuff going on. It's beginning to work. And at a certain point, you realize that I probably can't do this all by myself. So you think, you look up and look left, look right in the office, and there are some teams that are being built. And certainly if you're not building a team or in a small office where there aren't teams being built, you've sold listings and had buyers you work with other team members on real estate sales teams. And so the team thing is not uncommon, right? It's going on at a high level. The problem is, right, if you got into real estate, you probably got in for a couple reasons. The first one is you really like houses. You enjoy the concept of making real estate your industry and your job. And that, speaking of a job, you kind of got into real estate because you wanted to be your own boss, right? You didn't necessarily want to be the boss of anybody else, or even certainly lots of other people, even a couple people on a team. You want to build this team. You need to build this team because you're busy. And getting busier, and see kind of a ceiling of achievement about what you can handle, and then realize that, wait a minute, I don't want to be a boss. That's why I got involved in real estate. I want to work for myself and call my own shots and not open up an HR department. Here's the neat part. I said a second ago, you've already kind of building a team, even if you didn't know it. And if you already have a team, this is a neat way to add horsepower to it and or even rebuild some of your team, again, without all the hiring and training and commission splits and HR and payroll and all that stuff. And so here's the deal. What if your referral partners, right? Your home inspectors, your appraisers, your title company, your landscape guys, your stager, your clean out specialists, the gutter guy you refer sometimes when there's that leaky deal right before settlement and you need to get it buttoned up. What if those guys would actually function as your team? I mean, let's be clear, they kind of already are your team. When you give somebody a referral to a cleaning company, right, and they've got the name and number of your client and they're interacting and getting set up, that person, that vendor you referred to them is now your team, right? The nice part is you don't need to pay them directly. In fact, you can have a relationship back and forth with your lender, for example, where if you give them a referral to a trusted client, they pay you back in a referral fee. You actually can't do that. It's against the law in real estate. So these team members that we're working with and referring business to, a legal separation between even being able to pay them to do work with you or them pay you. So here's the point, or here's the big idea. What if we took those team members and treated them like the vendors, rather, and treated them like team members versus having to build out a giant team as we scaled, right? So what if those referral partners, what if those vendors did what you would do, right? What you would be actually training people to do. And at the end of the day, what if they could do this? Well, that even before the transaction is over, they'd feel compelled to refer you a trusted colleague or friend. Again, even before the deal was done, because you had done such a good job up until now in the transaction. What if that was their level of service? That's possible. So again, wrap it up, and I can explain how to do that in later videos. I'm glad you got this far. Building a team can be amazing, right? Having a team can be really rewarding. Doing it the way that is out there on the internet in terms of how to build a big team has lots of complexity. Some love it, some don't want it at all. So what if we took your vendors and made them team members? Just an idea. Comment below. Let me know if you've had some success having your vendors play a really big role in building your team and, more importantly, building out your customer service level. I'd like to hear about them in the comments. And if you liked what we talked about here and need some more clarification, like and subscribe, hit that button, and I'd love to see you on a future video. Thanks for watching.